Hello and welcome, Steve Fletcher here. Welcome to the Everything Guide to Learning to Play Guitar. Alright, so what we're going to do today, and it's a fantastic place for you to have gotten to, is we're having a look at increasing the length of time that you play. And not just increasing it by a little bit, we're going to start looking at, for as much as we possibly can, we're going to try and do all of the song that you play. All right, we're going to start at the start and go all the way through to the end. All the verses, all the choruses, all the guitar solos and the middle eights and all that kind of stuff. Something we've been building up to for quite a while now. And we can't always do it, but we're going to try and do it as much as we possibly can. Now, there's a couple of different ways that we can approach this. What I can do, obviously, songs are built up with, verse, bridge, chorus, another verse, another bridge, another chorus, and then maybe a middle eight or a guitar solo, and then maybe another verse, and then another bridge, and then maybe another chorus. I could just write down each individual section and just keep it going. What you'd end up with then, and this is why I don't do this, is I don't like doing it like that, is what you'd end up with is about 8 sheets. Each song would last about 8 or 9 sheets as you went through all the different sections. Now that's all right, a lot of page turning involved, and of course you're playing the guitar. Page turning is a bit of a pain in the backside to do while you're trying to play. It's something that you will have to get used to eventually, but not yet. All right. And the other thing that is a lot of the time, again, not always, but a lot of the time, certain sections are the same. So your verse might be the same. Each verse might be the same. Each bridge might be the same. Choruses are certainly going to have a high chance of being the same. So what I do is I try and keep your sheets as minimal as possible. So, you're going to get your 2-page sheets. On occasion, you might get a 3-page sheet, but you're going to get a 2-page sheet. And each section, which you're very used to by now, each section, there's a verse, there's your bridge, there's your chorus, guitar solo, whatever. You'll see each section. And then at the bottom of the sheet, you'll have what I call the song structure, where it'll just have a little blocks, little bricks almost, where it just says verse, bridge, chorus, verse, bridge, chorus. And you just follow them to get the full song. Okay, that's the idea of what we do. So you're used to seeing your songs divided up into verses and bridges and choruses and all that kind of stuff. So it might take you a little bit of time to get used to this, but it is an important part of your learning. And playing an entire song is obviously what you want to do. You need to be able to play for that length of time so that you can perform a whole song. Because when you see guitarists play live and what have you, they don't stop halfway through and go, oh, that's all I can remember. They play the whole song. Now, I try to keep things as simple as possible with the song structure. Songs can obviously have several different verses, several choruses, and I'm just going to use the label of verse and chorus rather than verse 1, verse 2, verse 3, verse 4, chorus 1, chorus 2, just to try and keep things as simple as I possibly can. Sometimes it's not possible because sometimes, different verses might have slightly different structures to each other. You're just going to have to go with it. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears peeled, and keep your brain switched on to how well you can do this. But it is something that you should be able to do. You should be used to this crazy little thing called practice by now. And fingers crossed, you won't have any problem doing it. So as much as possible from now, we are going to be doing the full songs wherever we humanly can, which is a great place to get to. So well done. All right, so what we're going to talk about today, we're just going to spend a few minutes just talking about the 12-string guitar. There's a couple of songs in this section and sections beyond where you'll see me, and if you're watching videos of the artists themselves, you'll see a 12-string guitar in action. So now just seems to be as good a time as any for me to just take a little moment just to explain what a 12-string guitar is all about, because you will see them. We've obviously got used to talking about acoustic guitars, classical guitars, electric guitars. 12 string is kind of like a subgenre of all of those, because you can get 12 string electric guitars, you can get 12 string acoustic guitars, although acoustics are that little bit more common. Despite their initial appearance as looking a little bit confusing, there's actually barely any difference playing a 12 string guitar from playing a 6 string guitar. A G chord, for instance, is a G chord, whether you're playing a 6 string guitar or a 12 string guitar. So yes, there are 12 strings, but what you actually have is 6 pairs of strings. Okay, so you still put your fingers in exactly the same places that you would do to play a normal 6 strings. It's just that you have 2 strings under each finger as opposed to single ones. Now that does feel different, obviously. And it does sort of generate this kind of sitar-y kind of sound. But playing them is not really any different. They're a great thing to try. Now, and to accommodate this pairing of strings, you'll probably find that, you know, the neck is just that little bit wider. So it does feel a little bit of a reach, but nothing too terrifying about playing a 12-string guitar. So if you do see one in a guitar shop, don't be scared. You know, just have a look and go, mind having just 2 minutes, sit down with a 12-string, because they do sound very, very nice. Now, you might be able to also spot that the strings aren't actually the same. So your bottom E string, for instance, I mean, there is, if I try and pluck very gingerly, there is the bottom E string. If I pluck its pair, you can hear that it does sound different. But it is still an E. So they're just sort of tuned slightly differently. So you have these thicker and thinner strings. So the E, the A, the G, the D, and the G have this thick and thin pairing. All right. Now, do you remember when we talked about your tuning a long time ago? We had different numbers to tell you what octave the E is. So, for instance, you know, the E there, that's an E3. Well, that is an E2. So you get E2, E3, A2, A3, D3, D4, G3, even in tune as well, and G4. And then your B and your E are actually identical. So you get a B3 and a B3 and an E4 and an E4. So it's just a really, really lovely, very rich sound. And you're going to see me using one every now and then. So I just thought I'd give you that little tuition of what's going on with a 12 string. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying tuned. Please check out all the other videos that are available for you to learn. The amount of songs and tunes and techniques and things that I've got is growing by the day. So please, please, please stick around. Thanks very much, boys and girls. Bye-bye.